The first civilization of India is Indus Valley civilization. Why we call this is Indus Valley civilization? It is called River Valley civilization. Dear students, welcome to Art Square. We are fortunate enough, we are again meeting with each other, and you might have viewed my previous class, which was the archaeological sources. I have completed that one. Today we will start with another topic, that is Harappan civilization, and which is the second bit of your first chapter. In this chapter we will discuss the Harappan civilization, which is 5,000 years old, and it is the most important chapter. Not only the historical students are not for a subject of history, but it is quite important for our own Indian culture. As per the historical views and history of India, it is depicted that it is the first culture of India. And we know that India has been derived everything from this civilization. I am telling you the most historical analysis of many historians, that is the Harappan civilization is the most oldest civilization, but we do not know about the Harappan civilization, where it was at the one site, because after 1921-22 we come to know that there was a great civilization started at the side of river Indus, which is now in Pakistan. How we come to know that? And I have already told you in my previous class, in archaeological survey of chapter, by excavation method we come to know about the Indus Valley civilization, in which Harappan civilization is a part. Anyway, this civilization has been brought to light after 1922 by excavation method of Rakhal Das Banerjee and Dayaram Sahani. I have already discussed this thing in archaeology sources. Before that, the historian believed that before 1921-22, historian believed that the Vedic civilization is the first civilization of India, because at that time Indus excavation was not done. But after 1922, when we come to know about Indus Valley civilization, we assure that Vedic civilization is not the first civilization of India. The first civilization of India is Indus Valley civilization, and it is said by historian it existed around 3250 BC to 27.5 BC, and total period is 5,000 years ago. This is the things, and we call it the Indus Valley civilization. Why we call this is Indus Valley civilization? Because this civilization was started at the side of river Indus. So it is called Indus Valley civilization. And sometimes question comes to our mind that there are various civilizations in the world, but all are combined with a river. If we think the Nile Valley civilization or Egyptian civilization, this civilization was started at the valley of river Nile. You have already studied in your first year class in civilization chapter. That is Nile Valley civilization, because this civilization was started at the valley of river Nile. And another civilization was started in Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia means the land between two rivers. The land between two rivers. One side is Tigris and other side is Euphrates. The midland of the two rivers, the civilization was started. We call it Mesopotamia. The word Mesopotamia denotes the land between two rivers, the midland, the middle of two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. So the two rivers are associated. If we discuss the Chinese Revolution, the Chinese Revolution is also associated with two rivers, Huanghe and Yangtze. So where there is civilization, there must be associated with a river or two rivers. It is called River Valley civilization. Likewise, our Indus Valley civilization is associated with a river, what we call Indus. Sometimes question arises, if we write in Odia language, you will write Sindhu. But when we write in English, we write Indus. Why? Because the word Sindhu cannot be pronounced by Persians. The Persian cannot pronounce this word, the Sindhu. So they call it the river as Indus, so it is remained as Indus. And as per the historical data, mythological view, historians view that perhaps the word Indus has been derived to Hindus. It is a historical source. So this is about Indus, river Indus, and the contemporary civilizations were Nile Valley, Mesopotamia, but Indus people had a good trade link with Mesopotamia, and Indian culture has been derived from this civilization. So this is about the Indus Valley civilization. Now we will discuss how the Indus Valley civilization became popular and who made it popular, who excavated. I have already told you, during the period of Dayaram Sahani and Dakhaldas Banerjee, who were the archaeologists of Department of Archaeology, and Sir John Marshall was the Director General of Archaeological Survey of India. During their period, around 1920-21, the Indus side was excavated and we got this two civilization. But you mind it, not only these two civilizations were excavated, rather as many as 1400 civilizations were excavated. And this may be counted as from India 975, Pakistan 425, that means 1400 civilizations were excavated. Out of all, the most important were Lothal, Mohenjo-daro, Chanudaro, and Kalibangan, etc. So these are the most important civilization. But our topic is Harappan civilization, and in your syllabus we have to study Harappan civilization. Why do they settle at the side of a river? Once upon a time, before the civilization, before they were going to settle permanently in a particular place, they were just like wanderer. Why they were wandering? In search of food. They were collecting the food. They were gathering the food to live for their survival. They are moving from one place to another for the search of food. They were homelessness. They didn't have any home. They never settled any home. They were going to source the food for their own existence, own survival. That is why they were not living in a permanent place. But what prompted them? Why they desire to live in a permanent place? Because they were forced by the nature to live permanently in a particular place, from hopelessness to home awareness. How they will start a home for themselves. While searching their food, they were facing a lot of trouble. Particularly, they were collecting the fruit from trees. They were collecting fruit from trees. And sometimes they cannot get the food to eat, because from which tree they were plucking the food, the time came, the tree does not bear the fruit. They face difficulty and they cannot understand. The tree was giving us fruit, but nowadays the fruit is not there. So they were going to another tree for fruit, and they were collecting the fruit and eating the fruit. After some days, the tree does not bear the fruit, so they were going to another tree. They cannot understand that why the tree is not giving the fruit always. What happened to the trees? So they were going to various places, just that is why they were wanderers. They were wandering for the source of food. And again, when they reached to their old tree, the tree is bearing the fruit. They were surprised. How? After some days, the tree is bearing the fruit. From this course, they came to know that the trees bear the fruit seasonal. All the trees does not bear the fruit for all the time. So this thing came to their mind. So they thought, if we plant all the trees in one place, so that from one place we can get fruit for all the time. From this concept, they started the agriculture, the plantation. And they knew very well, in the rainy season, when the rain drops, the trees are bearing the leaves. So they came to know that tree needs water. So they needed water for their agricultural activity. That is why they started living at the side of a river. For agricultural purpose they needed water. So all the civilization, maybe Nile Valley, maybe Mesopotamia, maybe Huanggo or our Indus Valley civilization, all are associated with a river. Nile, Tigris, Euphrates, Huanggo, Yangtze and Indus Valley. Indus. So all the civilization is closely connected with a river because they were prompt in agriculture. For their agricultural activity, they needed water, and they knew that the river can give us the plenty of water so that we can do the agricultural activity. That is why they started their settlement at the side of a river. Clear? So this is the settlement of the river valley civilization. Now we shall discuss about their settlement. How the people and who were the people? Who were the people and how they settled the Indus Valley civilization? पिलामाने आमे मो प्रथमरु कहिचे आम वीडियो को बहु पिला इंग्लिश देखुचंते ओडिया भी देखुचंते ओडिया रे जो माने देखुचंते से माने मध्य बहुत मात्रा रे शेयर करिचंते लाइकिंग भी करिचंते एवं आमर मध्य ताको प्रति भल पाइबा अछि एवं ताको प्रति आमे केयर नै कि भी ओडिया रे आमे करूछु तेणु तुम मैंने आपको ओडिया भी जापर देखिपर देख मु प्रथम कही जो गोटे सभ्यता सृष्टि हुए से गोटे नदी कूल सभ्यता सृष्टि हुए जो नदी कूल सृष्टि हुए से सभ्यता सुचारू रूपे गठित होता है कारण आम जदि इतिहास को अनैबा देखा जे प्रत्येक सभ्यता से नील नदीर उपत्यका सभ्यता हो कि मेसोपोटामिया सभ्यता होता हो बा भारतर हरप्पा संस्कृति होता हो समस्त सभ्यता एक नदी कूल ही सृष्टि होता है। इजिप्ट सभ्यता बा मिसर सभ्यता में जो कौचे नील नदीर सृष्टि होता मेसोपोटामिया दुई नदीर मध्यवर्ती अंचल में सृष्टि होता चीन सभ्यता यांगसिकियांग वांगो नदी कूल सृष्टि होता सेमती आम सिंधु सभ्यता सिंधु नदी कूल सृष्टि होता तेणु जो सभ्यता गुड़िक प्राचीन काल सृष्टि होता समस्त सभ्यता नदी कूल ही सृष्टि होता नदी कूल सृष्टि होवार कारण हूँ कौन सर्वप्रथमे मनुष्य घूरी बुलूला खाद्य अन्वेषण रे ताको कोठी खाद्य मिलिबो से कोठी खाइब केवल गछर फल को से तोलिकी से खाउतिला एवं सबुजाक गछ ताको गोटे समय फल दौन थिला जो गछर से फल खाउतिला किछ दिन गला पर सेठी से फल हो नथिला जहा फल से आउ गोटे गछ को जाउतिला से गछर फल खाउतिला पुणी से सरीगला पर पुणी आउ गोटे गछ पाकू जाउतिला एवं सेठू सरीगला पर जे पछुकू फेरे जो गछ को से छाड़ी के जाइतिला से गछरे पुनर्बार फल हेलानी तेणु यही सृष्टि से जानिला जे गछ गुड़िक सब समय फल दिएनी ऋतु अनुजाई गछरे फल हुए तेणु ये जिनस नेचर बा परिवेश ये जिनस से जानिला प्रकृति जे गछ सब बेले फल दिएनी ऋतु अनुसार गछरे फल हुए एवं सेठू से कॉन्सेप्ट को लेकिन से एग्रीकल्चर बा कृषि जानिबा को पाइला एवं जेतोड़ से कृषि जानिला तार आवश्यक पड़िला ट्री नीड्स सनलाइट वाटर एंड सॉइल सॉइल तो से जानी पारछि सॉइल माटी कोटी मृत्तिका कोटी अछि जोटी ठिया होइछि सेटा ला मृत्तिका सूर्य किरण तो अच्छी एवं पानी पानी मत कौट पर्याप्त परिमाण रे मत पानी कौट मिल केवल नदी रे ही मिल एवं सेतिपाई से नदी कूल रे कृषि आरंभ कला एवं कृषि आरंभ कला परे से गोटे जगार सेटिल होकर रहिला बा सबुदिन पाई रहिला एवं सेठू गढ़ी उठिला एक सभ्यता नील नदी उपत्यका सभ्यता बा मिसर सभ्यता मेसोपोटामिया सभ्यता भारतर सिंधु सभ्यता चीन सभ्यता तेणु आज आमर आलोच्य विषय होचे हरप्पान सिविलाइजेशन बा हरप्पा संस्कृति जोटा तुम फास्ट चैप्टर बीट सेकेंड रे रोचे एटा गोटे इम्पोर्टेंट चैप्टर ए चैप्टर को आमे पुंखानुपुंख भाव में डिस्कसन करिबा आमे नदी उपत्यका सभ्यता कथा डिस्कसन कले तापरे हरप्पा संस्कृति 5000 वर्ष तलर संस्कृति 3250 रु 2750 मध्य गढ़ी उठिला ए सभ्यता एवं प्रत्नतात्विक उपादान द्वारा आम 1922 मसीह जानीपारे दयाराम साहनी राकलदास बानार्जी द्वारा जे भारत में गोटे सभ्यता गढ़ी उठिला सिंधु नदी कूल बर्तमान सिंधु नदी हूँ पाकिस्तान रे तेणु से सभ्यता गढ़ी उठिला एवं 1922 मसीह आम जानिले भारतर प्रथम सभ्यता हूँ सिंधु सभ्यता एवं ऐतिहासिक माने 1921-22 अर्थात प्रत्नतात्विक खोदन बा खनन पूर्वर जेतोल आम पाखरे सभ्यता पहुँची नथिला आमे विश्वास करुले ऐतिहासिक माने विश्वास करुले जे वैदिक युग बा ऋग्वेदिक युग होची भारतर प्रथम संस्कृति किंतु 1922 मसीहा पर आमे जानिले भारतर प्रथम संस्कृति वैदिक सभ्यता नुहे बरं हरप्पा बा सिंधु सभ्यता तेणु इट इज द फास्ट सिविलाइजेशन फास्ट इंडियन कल्चर ऑफ इंडिया एवं आउ गोटे कथा कहूचे जे सिंधु नदी को जेतोले आमे ओडिया रे लिखिबा सिंधु इंग्लिश रे लिखिबा इंडस काईकी कारण सिंधु सभ्यतार लोक मानकर पर्सिया सहित मेसोपोटामिया सहित वाणिज्यगत संपर्क थिला से माने सिंधु नदी को उच्चारण करि पारु नथिले तेणु सिंधु नदी को इंडस बोली डाकुथिले एवं से दिनरू ताको इंडस नामित हैला एवं ता ना इंडस रिवर रहिला बा इंडस नदी रहिला इंडस रिवर एवं कागज कलम नाम इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन बोली लेखिले तेणु आमे वर्तमान देखिबा जे हु वेयर द रियल बिल्डर और एसोसिएट्स ऑफ दिस सिविलाइजेशन को माने होचंते प्रकृत रे सिंधु सभ्यतार आदिवासी अकॉर्डिंग टू हिस्टोरिकल एनालिसिस एथिक्स and researchers they are in confusion. What is the confusion? The people of Indus Valley were Aryans or Dravidians. आज भी ऐतिहासिक माने शिक्षाविद माने कन्फ्यूजन में रहते जे से माने आर्यंस ना द्राविडियंस एटी कथा होचे जे से समय जे थिले डायरेक्टर जनरल सर जॉन मार्शल जे आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया रो हेड थिले जे हेड थिले सी विश्वास करती द हरप्पन पीपुल आर क्लोजली कनेक्टेड विथ the Sumerian people. The Sumerians. Who were Sumerians? You recollect yourself. तुम टे मने पकाओ सुमेरियन किए Akkadians, Sumerians, Assyrians, these are all associated with Mesopotamia civilization. Mesopotamia सभ्यतार से माने थिले आदिवासी and they are Aryans. से माने होचंती Aryans बा आर्य. As per the verdict of Sir John Marshall, the Harappan people are Aryans. As per the voice of Director General Sir John Marshall. But now we shall analyze who were the real originator of this civilization. After the declination, after the end of this civilization, Aryans started their settlement. And the historian believe that Aryans came from Central Asia, and before the arrival of Aryans in India, some Aryans started their human activity at the side of river Indus. So they are Aryans. But some historians are telling the Aryans and Dravidians, they are quite opposite to each other. How? The Aryans were the believer of idols, cows, and various idols, murti puja, deva devi ko puja karutile. But the people of Indus never worship the idols. Murti puja karu nathile. They were the worshipper of nature, the trees, the nature. But how they are similar to Aryans? Again, the Indus people were making trade with different civilizations. सिंधु सभ्यतार आदिवासी माने बहु अन्य सभ्यता सहित वाणिज्य कारबार करुथिले. बट आर्यंस दे नेवर लाइक सी जर्नी, सामुद्रिक यात्रा को से माने पसंद करनथिले. द आर्यंस वर नॉट द रियल ओरिजिनेटर ऑफ हरप्पन civilization. Rather, Dravidians were the real founder or initiator, originator or builder of this civilization. तेणु एतिकी जान ये जो हरप्पा संस्कृति सृष्टि होता द्राविड मानक द्वारा ही सृष्टि होता, नॉट बाय आर्यंस. आउ गोटे तुमको डिसेमिनारिटी कहूँ जे जेतेबेले हरप्पा संस्कृति बा सिंधु सभ्यतार संस्कृति जेतेबेले डेभलप होइतिला, ए आर्यंस माने दे डिफिटेड द हरप्पान्स. हरप्पार लोक मानकु से माने युद्ध रे परास्त करथिले. बिकॉज आर्यंस वर एक्सपर्ट इन फाइटिंग, बट हरप्पान्स वर नॉट एक्सपर्ट इन फाइटिंग बिकॉज दे आर वेरी peace loving people. They never fight with each other, and no Aryans will fight Aryans for their settlement. गोटे आर्य आउ गोटे आर्य को युद्ध रे परास्त करी ता जगह नहीं जीवो कि नब नहीं. So this concept we can sure that the Aryans were not the real founder of Harappan civilization. So it is sure that Dravidians were the real founder of this Harappan civilization. सिंधु सभ्यतार जो दुईटी संस्कृति गढ़ी उठिला इंपोर्टाट संस्कृति हरप्पा एवं मोहनजोदार. हरप्पा थिला मॉन्टेगोमरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ पंजाब रे एवं मोहनजोदार थिला लारकान डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ सिंध प्रोविंस रे. तेणु यही सभ्यतार स्रष्टा होचंती द्राविड़ माने. एवं बर्तमान आमे देखिबा व्हाट वाज देयर लाइफ स्टाइल, how they led their life, how they made their civilization so formidable, so important. Without any experience, without any knowledge, without any engineering works, they could constructed many more things. They were master of themselves. ସେମାନେ ନିଜ ନିଜର ଶିକ୍ଷକ ଥିଲେ. They were teaching to themselves. ନିଜେ ନିଜକୁ ପଢ଼ଉଥିଲେ. What is right and what is wrong, everything. They started their civilization. ଏବଂ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯେଉଁ ଜାଗାରେ ବା ସିନ୍ଧୁ ନଦୀ କୂଳରେ ସେମାନେ ବସବାସ କରୁଥିଲେ, ସେମାନେ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ୍ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ପାଇଁ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଲାଇଫ୍ରେ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ଥିଲା. ଆଜି ଯେମିତି ଆମର ଲାଇଫ୍ରେ ତିନିଟା ଜିନିଷର ଆବଶ୍ୟକତା ଅଛି, ଖାଦ୍ୟ, ବାସଗୃହ ଏବଂ ପୋଷାକ. ସେତେବେଳେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେମାନେ ତିନିଟା ଜିନିଷ ଆବଶ୍ୟକ କରୁଥିଲେ, ଫୁଡ୍, ସେଲ୍ଟର ଆଣ୍ଡ କ୍ଲଥ୍. What type of food they were using, what type of food they were eating, and as you know very well, their occupation was agriculture, trade and commerce. They started their human activity and they were very laborious. They started the agricultural work. Their important crop was, as it is today, rice and wheat. ଗହମ ଏବଂ ଧାନ ହେଉଛି ତାଙ୍କର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଫସଲ ଏବଂ ଏହି ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଫସଲକୁ ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ଜୀବିକା ଭାବରେ ଗ୍ରହଣ କରି ତାକୁ ଉତ୍ପନ୍ନ କରୁଥିଲେ. As per the historical source, Lothal was the site where heavy amount of rice was grown. ତେଣୁ ଏଗ୍ରିକଲଚରାଲ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିରେ ବା କୃଷି କାର୍ଯ୍ୟରେ ସେମାନେ ମନୋନିବେଶ କରିଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ଉତ୍ପନ୍ନ କରୁଥିଲେ ଧାନ, ଗହମ ଏବଂ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାରର ପନିପରିବା ଉତ୍ପନ୍ନ କରି ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଖାଦ୍ୟ ମେଣ୍ଟାଉଥିଲେ. ତେଣୁ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ସରିଲା, ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଆକୁ ହିଁ ଖାଇକି ସେ ବଞ୍ଚୁଥିଲେ. ତା ସହିତ ବାସଗୃହ, କେଉଁଠି ରହିବେ, ଥଣ୍ଡା, ଶୀତ, କାକର, ବର୍ଷାରେ ରହିବେ କେମିତି. And they were very artistic, they were very skilled, developed. Without engineering study, they had constructed the buildings, public houses, public bath, Mohenjo-daro great bath, many more things. Particularly 2-storied buildings were constructed at that time. And we should respect them. Without the knowledge, without the building materials, they could construct the 2-storied building. ଆଜି ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ପୋଡ଼ା ଇଟାରେ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରି ଘର ତିଆରି କରୁଛେ, that concept also known to them. ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଜଣାଥିଲା ପୋଡ଼ା ଇଟା ସେମାନେ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ପୋଡ଼ା ଇଟା ବ୍ୟବହାର କରିକି ସେମାନେ 2 ମହଲା ଘର ତିଆରି କରିପାରୁଥିଲେ. ଏବଂ ଆଜି ଯେମିତି ଆମ ଘରେ ଡାଇନିଂ ରୁମ୍ ଅଛି, ଡ୍ରଇଂ ରୁମ୍ ଅଛି, kitchen, bathing, everything, they were also doing all these things. ଆଜି ଆମେ ଯେଉଁ ପ୍ରକାର ଲାଇଫଷ୍ଟାଇଲ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛେ, they have already created that one. ସେମାନେ ସବୁ କିଛି ତିଆରି କରିଥିଲେ. ବୋଧହୁଏ ସେ ଜିନିଷକୁ ଆମେ ଫଲୋ କରୁଛୁ. ଆଜିକା ଡେଟ୍ରେ we are very educated, କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ସେ ଜିନିଷ ଛାଡ଼ି ପାରୁନୁ. ତେଣୁ ସେମାନେ ଯେଉଁ ଜିନିଷ ଯେମିତି ଘର ତିଆରି କରୁଥିଲେ, ଆମେ ଆଜି ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟରିଂ ପାଠ ପଢ଼ିକି ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମେ ସେମିତି ତିଆରି କରୁଛେ. No new thing, without knowledge, without experience. What they started, we are just following this. ଆମେ ତାକୁ କେବଳ ଫଲୋ କରୁଛେ. That means they are 1000 times wisest than us. ଆମଠୁ ସେମାନେ 1000 ଗୁଣ ବୁଦ୍ଧିମାନ ଥିଲେ. Most learned person, though they didn't have educational background. We know that we are educated, we know everything. What we will do, that is right. No. Education makes a man perfect, no doubt. But an uneducated man is not an imperfect. जोटा कि इंडस वैली माने ताकू बुझे देइछन्ती भल भाव में। We don't have educational background, but now it is the wonderful creation of the Indus people. तेणु से माने तांकर रहिबा गृह तैयारी करथिले 2 महला एवं प्रत्येक घरे से माने सुसज्जित करुथिले, रंग बेरंग रे घर को सजौथिले। प्रत्येक घरे अगणा थिला, गाधुआ घर थिला, रोषेई घर थिला, ड्राइंग रूम जोटा हमें बैठक खाना थिला एवं से माने निज घर को सुसज्जित करिक रखुथिले, अपरिष्कार करू नथिले। रास्ता गुड़िक मध्य सुंदर थिला। दे हैड वेल डिजाइन रोड, all the roads were straight and all the connected roads were touching with right angle, and both the sides of road there were buildings. They planted trees at the side of the road. रास्तार उभय पार्श्व गृह गुड़िए थिला एवं प्रत्येक रास्तार से माने गछ लगौते फॉर सेट पर्पस छाई पाई। एवं आज जेमती आमे रास्तार 2 कड़े आमे ड्रेन तैयारी करुचे, दे ऑल्सो कंस्ट्रक्टेड द ड्रेन। दे वर अवेयर ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट, किंतु आज आमे अवेयर होचे एनवायरनमेंट उपरे। से माने 5000 वर्ष तलू दे वर अवेयर ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट। दे न्यू दैट द रियल गॉड इज नेचर। If we care the nature, the care will protect us. But now we are realizing, आमे आज ही जानूचे, that is why we are going to careful towards the nature. And that is why I am telling you, we are following the Indus people. And they didn't have educational background. सेमानकर education नथिला. We are educated. Still we are following the uneducated ones. तेणु से जा हो, इंडस वैली हमको बहुत शिखई। इंडस वैली लोक मैंने हमको बहुत जिन शिखेले। बी अवेयर ऑफ नेचर, परिवेश प्रति सतर्क रुह। से रास्तार 2 पटे से माने ड्रेन तैयारी करुथिले एवं ड्रेन तैयारी करिकी निज घरर अपरिष्कार पानी को ड्रेन करिकी मेन ड्रेन में भर्ती करुथिले, सो दैट पानी कोटी जमीबनी, अपरिष्कार परिवेश हेनी। हाउ दे आर्टिस्टिक, हाउ दे स्किल्ड पीपुल, वी सैल्यूट देम बिकॉज दे वेर द इंस्पिरेटर्स, दे वेर द पर्सन्स फॉर व्हिच वी आर गेटिंग द नॉलेज। आमे गृह कथा पढ़िले, हाउसिंग पढ़िले, ड्रेन पढ़िले, रोड पढ़िले, ये सबू केमिति होउचे? से माने जो प्रकार सभ्यता सृष्टि करथिले, आमे याको संपूर्ण भाव में कहबा इट इज ए टाउन प्लानिंग सिस्टम। आज जेमती आमे टाउन प्लानिंग भीतर रहिचे, दे क्रिएटेड ए टाउन प्लानिंग सिस्टम। आ से जो टाउन प्लानिंग, दैट इज व्हाई दे आर कॉल्ड एज द मोस्ट डेवलप्ड पीपल ऑफ एट दैट टाइम। से माने से समय बहु उन्नत बा विकसित लोक थिले। तेणु ए सहित आमर बिल्डिंग, रोड्स, ड्रेन आमे जान पढ़िले। से माने खाद्य केमिति तैयारी करथिले, दे वेर डूइंग द किचन्स, कि दे वेर मेकिंग देयर फूड when fire was not known to them. अग्नि जानिबा परे से माने खाद्य रंधा कले एवं चूली व्यवहार करुथिले। एवं चूली काली बंधन रु मिली गोटे जगार 7टा चूली, गोटे जगार 7टा चूली मिली। ये कॉन्सेप्ट रु आमे जानूचु ସେମାନେ ଚୁଲି ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ପର୍ବପର୍ବାଣୀ ସମୟରେ ସେମାନେ ଏକତ୍ର ଖାଉଥିଲେ ବିକଜ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ମିନ୍ସ ଦେ ହାର୍ ଦ ୟୁନିଟି ସେମାନଙ୍କର ୟୁନିଟି ବି ଥିଲା ତେଣୁ ଏ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ଚୁଲିରୁ ଜଣାଏ ଦେ ହାର୍ ଦ ୟୁନିଟି and collectively they were making the food in a special occasion. What type of dress they were using? They were using cotton and woolen dresses বা সুতা এবং পশম পোশাক ସେମାନେ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଥିଲେ ଏବଂ according to historians they knew the weaving ସେମାନେ weaving বা ତନ୍ତୁରେ ବୁଣିକି ଲୁଗା ପିନ୍ଧି ପାରୁଥିଲେ if we like this video share it comment it and if you want to take the class in live and our institution is Art Square which is very near to BJP college eminent faculties are imparting various subject teachings you can visit to our institutions and you can get the live classes. Thank you all.